Okay, how's everyone doing out there? We'll be starting in just a minute. AR, why don't you try talking so that we can check levels?
How am I coming across everybody?
Hopefully it's
And
roughly
then we
even.
wait.
Yes. We'll make sure everyone thinks we're about even.
Oop.
Okay. Okay, no complaints, so we'll grab our 30 seconds and then we'll start going. Okay?
Yep.
Starting now. Okay, that should be good. Ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Welcome to the With the Will podcast. We're here to entertain and hopefully inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, I run With the Will.
And I'm AR Pulver, Digimon System Restore.
And it's both been a while, but not quite as long as it might normally be.
I think it's still worked out to the 3 weeks.
It I believe it's actually been 2 weeks since the last episode.
Yeah, since,
Yeah.
well, three
The,
weeks since the last live episode.
yes. Yeah, we'll get into that shortly though. So it's been a while. How's everything going?
I've been doing just fine. Yeah.
We
Panel
have
for ASEN is all approved, so that's good to go.
That's good. We'll make sure we get that link too, so that people can show up and poke at AR with a stick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we're officially 100% for sure in the deluge of stuff that will never,
Ugh.
end and is almost psychotic.
I need to make a point to wake up early every Friday morning because, like, on the dot, every Friday morning I wake up and there's some sort of new thing I have to look at before work.
Yeah, I recall it was Thursday. I wasn't feeling all that great, but had tickets to go see a movie. Went, came back, and it's like, there'll be one thing later that I know for sure, and maybe something else. And then around 1:30 a.m. or so, they just start throwing crap at us. Like there's literally news things where you can see an article went up at like 2:19, and then there's something even bigger up at 2:29 on the site. Where
This is what we get for scheduling a podcast on the weekend of an industry event.
luckily we're scheduled so that it's right now it's basically the early morning Sunday, and there can't possibly be any news as long as I get this up in the next few hours, no matter what, basically.
They were planning something for midnight.
Yeah, it's like 5 a.m. there right now, I believe, roughly.
Yeah.
So
Wake up.
yeah,
Yeah, they just had an 8 a.m. They just decide to spontaneously release the first 5 minutes of the next movie.
yeah, or they'll announce V Tamer the anime.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so we have a lot of stuff to go through. May, we assume, will be joining us partway through.
Mm-hmm.
So, shall we just get to all the many, 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 many things?
Let's go for it.
Well, first, let me go ahead and turn on the little May blocker.
The blocker of shame.
Yes. And that should be popping up for everyone right about now. Now. There we go. So, first up, the U.S. shipments of Metal Gurumon showed up, and I, took the pictures, scanned. I
Mm-hmm.
really hope someone does pictures because I really don't want to do the full picture wave because I'm quite terrible at it.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, yeah. So I always just do, and here are pictures I took while it's still in the plastic framing
Mm-hmm.
because I really suck at doing these. So I basically do the bare minimum and go, someone else do it please, so I don't have to. But we will see. And then we had our special episode last time with Jeff Nimoy, which went borderline perfect.
Yeah.
As far as recording,
As far as you guys know.
yes, you guys didn't get the extra 40 minutes of footage of me and AR sitting there while we're trying to figure out why stuff won't connect to Jeff and all that. Where I believe you can, where AR is finishing eating, I'm sitting there humming to myself, and also going, "Yeah, why won't this fucking thing work?" Yeah.
Skype problems are not just immune
Yeah.
to everyone.
Yeah.
That hits
Yes,
everybody.
and Skype cut off the end of the episode.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I then had to go through and re-edit everything and throw the video back up, because just at the very end you can hear me say goodbye, you can hear AR say goodbye, then you hear someone else go. "Yeah." Luckily, the desktop recording for it was fine, so there was no issue there. But it went borderline perfect, minus when AR decided to try throwing me under the bus.
Oh yeah, that was yes. I had to.
Yes, and of course, yeah, that was like, oh great, now I have to explain this, and it's like, what explanation is there when you just don't like it? It's like, does anyone? I don't think anyone really needs to hear me telling Jeff Nimoy for 15 minutes why I don't like Digimon Savers.
Meanwhile, at the panel we had last year, I blocked off a section. It's like, okay, we're only going to talk about Sabers right now.
Well,
So if anyone has any Sabers questions.
Yes, I had blocked off a whole section for us to talk about. I think when you said that, it ended up going quicker because he decided to move past it. We had all the nice notes, but it ironically, because of the delay, got compressed. But I think it ran like perfectly, basically.
Oh yeah, I think it went just fine. At least as far as the final product.
Yes. Yeah.
But that's what counts. So
The
hope
one thing I will reiterate though is I know for a fact that's Derek Stephen Prince.
I actually have not gone back and
Yeah,
watched it off
yeah,
DVD. I saw a clip someone uploaded of it when it first happened, and I didn't catch it then, but I'm sure if I went back and watched it, I'd pick it out.
I went back and rewatched it, and I even checked for credits, and unless something odd happened, that is him.
Or I don't think he'd be credited for that, but
yeah. So but I mean, it's possible there's some clips in it where it's not him, but he is there.
Well, now I feel bad because I talked to Derek Stephen Prince at a show the very next week. I did a panel with him, and he didn't ask me that question, and I feel bad.
But yeah, that went perfect, and I really do recommend people listen to it because it really was like a fantastic overview of everything he's done in it. And I was a bit surprised that I actually surprised him once or twice with a few random things, like the Rumble Arena.
Oh yeah.
The only thing we didn't mention was, actually I don't remember if I mentioned it or not, was how Bob Buckles has stabbed us all in the back by directing Pokemon. But yeah,
there's more crossover now.
Yeah,
it's a little unsettling.
Yeah, although
originally because of the they're recorded on different coasts. It's like you'd have one camp on one side and one camp on the other side. There's a lot more crossover now, and it's a little weird.
I think he directed Origins, which I think they recorded all in LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I didn't mention the one place most people would actually probably know Bob from, which was Gene Starwind and Outlaw Star.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So shall we get to the wave after wave after wave of news?
Yes.
That terrifies AR.
Yeah, I only have so many hot takes on some of these things.
Okay. So first up, and we sort of mentioned it during the podcast, Adventure's 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And Adventure's 19, that means that the first film was 19 a day before. Right, a couple days before that, you had War Game, Diablo Monster. There's a lot of stuff in early March for Digimon.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started putting up some interesting images that got people very about what they're doing.
Oh.
They showed mock-ups for the 15th anniversary Digivice. And they showed mock-ups they did of all 9 of them. And then a later mock-up they did of Mako. And they all look nice, and they add the, well, we're not doing these, so don't worry about it.
You like them? Too bad.
Yeah. So not much. I mean, do you get the feeling we're gonna see some of these?
It would if they did a mock-up for Mako, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a third wave of 15th anniversary Digivices, call them the 20th, and then
Hmm.
tryify them.
Yeah, I mean, if they're releasing that image to celebrate the 19th anniversary of Digimon Adventure, why would they add one for Mako who wasn't in the original Digimon Adventure?
Well, I would assume they probably did a mock-up for when they did the revised ones,
Sure,
because
sure,
Meicomon's in it.
that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to comment on this one so much because we did basically a whole show about it.
Hmm.
So, moving on, we then have the pre-orders for the Precious Gem Metal Garurumon went up, and again, really fucking expensive, but looks really nice.
Hmm.
Um, Ships in August, but Crunchyroll has it ships in October, which should save people a lot of money in intermediary fees.
Yeah,
And would you be shocked if by the end of the year we don't have Omegamon?
yeah, probably.
Now, the question is which Omegamon?
Ooh,
Dun dun, we have other stuff to go.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll go over that later, but yeah, I don't think there's much to say here, minus, God, it's so fucking nice and so fucking expensive.
Hmm. I have an answer for which Omegamon I would expect, but it's not certain for sure.
Yeah. Um, and then we have a bunch of Pendulum updates. So, first, they went over the Digimon that you'll get using passwords, and it disappointed a lot of people that these will all end up being Copymons. So we have Magnamon, Stingmon, Ophanimon, Fall Down Mode. Susanumon feels like a bit of a weird choice. Like
Yeah.
that feels like one that you should really have to get, you know?
Hmm.
And then they showed that you can combine for Pale Dramon, Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode and Paladin Mode, but no Dragon Mode.
Hmm.
It feels a bit like when they put in fighter mode, we went, well, okay, they're only gonna go up to that, and that's just gonna be representative of Imperial Dramon. It's a bit odd when then right after they show Paladin mode.
Yeah.
With the artwork for Paladin mode has always been very hilarious when they use it because you get all the white space because of the sword.
Hmm.
Um, then they did a just kind of like a general overview of everything, and do we really believe this is everything though?
Nah.
It very much feels like that's what they want us to think. And then they
Hmm.
showed us the enemies for battle mode, and the first three were a fun surprise, weren't they? Rust Tyrannomon, Alter S, and Grace Novamon, who are basically the three strongest ones from the 20th VPET.
Okay.
And then they went ahead and threw in the Sistermons also. But the best part is they point out, like, this is the, they're in black and white sprites. And I'm going, I guess this is the first time we've seen them like that, and the sprites look hilariously, like, perfect.
Yeah.
Uh,
Some of those sprites are pretty abstract. Not these two. Not these two.
yeah, I kind of like when we get the pseudo representative sprites like Grace Novamon, who
Hmm.
you can kind of see him in the sprite, but not really. Like if you told me that was what was the ultimate mode? Durandamon? Is
Hmm.
that the ultimate where he
Oh.
has like knives for feet?
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I
Yeah,
forgot which one was. I forgot whether Durandamon or Duramon was the
yeah.
ultimate.
Let's just call him Big Gold Guy.
Yeah, the
Um,
20th.
yeah. Well, to be fair, Zubamon's the 20th also,
Right.
and
This is
that
the Agramon.
and we got to see everyone's favorite. What the fuck is this guy gonna be next? We got to see Rudomon's ultimate, which let me attempt to say this properly. Briweludramon.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm stumped on this one too.
Yeah. Well, I know how they put the name together.
Hmm.
It's that nice corruption where they have the word they want, and then they just go, and here's a hammer to smash it in. whack, whack, whack. Um,
Let's play with Welsh. This'll
yes,
work.
yeah, because Welsh is the easiest language to deal with on its own.
Yeah.
Um, so
Hey Pat, I'd like to buy a W.
yes, and there will also be a very complicated B that maybe you're supposed to say with a P, because you got that fun PB combination you sometimes have in Japanese, where it kind of goes pra, Praldemon. Um, the dude has a bunch of shields. He is a shield. He turns into a shield. Plus, he has other faces that are AIs. Plus, he has two colors of flames going on. And just a fun. I mean, what else do we say minus that it's a fun guy? I mean,
Yeah, this is.
I mean,
They gotta keep escalating with this guy.
I know, but the fun with Rudolmon has both been seeing fans get exactly what they want and everyone being very confused about if they actually want it anymore. Because you'll know what I mean. When we get someone like, let's use Meikumon as an example. When you look at Meikumon, then Meicrackmon, then either of those evolutions after that,
Yeah.
everyone goes, it's a bit too based on Meikumon. You can see it a bit too easily. Right. And they go, I want to see the early days of the franchise when you could have X turn into Q and then a question mark at the end. We got that this time, and people are kind of going, I don't know if I like this anymore. Where it's like, we got a tiny little thing with a shield, a slightly bigger thing with a shield, and then we got a puppet with a shield. And then we got a shining blue guy, then we got a lightning gold guy, now we got fucking dragon, fucking, we got crazy.
We got a million shields, a million heads, and you can't pronounce the name. Welcome to Digimon.
Yes. So it really is one of those cases where, and I've said it even with Try, where people held up the monkey's paw and went, I want this. And then they're sort of looking at it going, I like it, but I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. But there's one thing worth mentioning about Rudolmon in general. We never got sprites of Zubamon turning into his sword in all of his evolutions. We got artwork of it, but as far as I know, there is no sprite of it.
Right.
We have sprites of what this guy does. Do you think that's going to come up?
No idea. Don't know.
Yeah. Or is that just like attack animations, maybe?
I don't know.
And last up, which we're working on a translation of it, they interviewed Kenji Watanabe for... I'm not sure if they've clarified that this will be the last update, but it's the last one before pre-orders close. And there's a few things in images that have people a bit interested. Especially where you get the guy we've never seen before holding both the sword and shield. I think that's just a stand-in character holding them, though. I don't think it's, Jogris fusion type thing.
Right.
So we'll get that will probably be translated... If you're listening when we're live tonight or tomorrow, if you're listening in the future, that was either translated or our translator fell off a cliff. We don't know which. So I think we can move on from the pendulum minus. If you want to get it right fucking now, because otherwise scalpers are going to start up soon. Although I would not be shocked if we got more of these, because they did it last year.
Yeah.
But if you really want these ones specifically, I think you have like 3 or 4 days, basically. And the price isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Speaking of the price isn't that bad, hey, it's the tie clips, the tie, and the Omegamon watch again. Tie clip, the tie clip...
Practical stuff that I probably should try to get.
Now, the tie clips for about $60-ish, they aren't bad. I mean, I actually really like the tie clips, to be quite honest. I'm not going to spend $65 on it, but I actually think the design really works well.
Yeah.
The tie, I mean, we've discussed it before. You could actually wear it as a professional tie without any issue.
Exactly.
To one of our people in the chat room, hold that for questions, because we will certainly go over that. And then we have the Omegamon watch, which this may be the last time it pops up. There's no end date on pre-orders this time. So this may be your last chance to get a overpriced watch that even if any of us did get the feeling we would disconnect it from that leather strap thing immediately. Like, if I could afford this watch, if I wore watches, I would get a different strap for it because I could not wear the full anime Power Rangers leather wristband.
Right.
Do we have anything else to say about the magical watch?
Magical as in we keep talking, as it comes up again and we keep talking about it?
Yeah,
No.
we keep talking about this fucking $450 watch, which I know for a fact at least 2 or 3 people got it because they saw either the podcast or writing about it. I want pictures of the fucking watch. If you bought the watch, you owe us. Show us pictures.
We should get a commission on that.
See, I'm not even interested in a commission. I want good pictures or scans or whatever of the watch. Moving on to...
I want the commission. We got a Tamer's Blu-ray to buy.
Yeah. Yes. And moving on to things we actually do get commissions for. Hey, a preview of Digivolving Spirits Alphamon. And every time we see this figure, I just really like the look of it. But I will go ahead and say this now. When I get it, there's no way in fuck I'm transforming this thing to get pictures. Like, look at the prototype. Those are the same colors on both prototypes. I love Transformers, but I don't hate myself enough to deal with this one. I mean, look at this fucking thing. I mean, AR, do you have enough time in your life to try to transform this thing once?
Once, probably. After that,
Yeah.
I
and if you look,
look,
if you look at the little Dorumon prototype, it's giving us the stink eye because it knows we're gonna try.
It's feisty.
Yeah, and that's out in July for a little over $80, and that's up at pre-order at Amazon also, which is nice. And because Bandai is either the best or the worst at marketing, sometimes it can be hard to tell. The Diablomon Festival in honor of the Diablomon's out.
I admire this.
Yeah. So the first thing they did was they tossed our war game up in Japanese on YouTube. It's geolocated and everything, but the whole film's up there.
I cannot complain about that. That's a good move.
Knowing us recording the show, it's gone by now. But it's not like most of us were gonna watch it there anyways.
We've seen it.
Second, they announced a Twitter campaign, which was basically a tweet a photo to the Tamashi Features account. And for 500 tweets, they were going to do 3 prize packages, which each comes with a signed figure, Battle Spirit cards, and the recent Gashapons. They put up photos of Watanabe signing. And of course, because he's Watanabe, he does the best little sketches on them also. Did you see the tiny little Agumon and Gabumon sketches? Agumon kind of looks like a little Godzilla. And the twist ending to the campaign, if they get 1,000, they'll announce the next Digivolving Spirits a bit early. Whoever could it be?
Click the egg.
Actually, I didn't put it in the final post. My post when I was writing it at the end literally said "nade nade."
Yeah. We still have scars from that.
Yeah. So, okay, out of those 3, who do you think's gonna be next, or do you think they're fucking with us and it's gonna be like Oryumon?
My guess is Patamon, but
see, I was gonna guess Tentomon.
Okay.
I'm really especially interested. All 3 of those interest me for different reasons. Tentomon because from what we've seen, it just looks amazing.
Yeah.
Patamon because mentally, I can't see it not being, for lack of a better term, a pseudo remake of the old figure.
Okay.
Just in the way it works. And then Dukemon because, wow, that looks a lot better than the old shitty figure.
Yeah.
I mean, it just looks better. And I think that's about it for that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else worth saying. Diablomon's on his way to me over the ocean right now. And Digimon Links is back up because it was down for 2 weeks, and me and AR noticed but didn't care.
I'm not. I wouldn't go so far as to say I noticed.
They gave a bunch of stuff when it came back up, but I feel like that's kind of like the bullshit part. Like, the items are great. It would have been better if they'd communicated better, though.
Yeah, it's probably
Communication.
worthy of a tweet.
The communication was basically, so it's still down. It'll be back up soon, we promise. And that was basically it.
Yeah.
And then in V Jump, they announced that anime voice Agumon and Gabumon will be showing up.
Yeah, that has me curious. How's that gonna work?
Some sort of.
Not so.
See, maybe they won't be like capturable. Maybe it'll be like they send you on a mission or something, and then they're with you.
Right.
And talking about mobile games, which I know this is. There's a bit to talk about with Rear Eyes here. The first one is the opening is. I like the opening. It is far less exciting than I think a number of people like had it up in their minds what this was gonna be.
I don't know. Like I look at the opening and like if that had a little bit more animation to it, if that was the opening to a trailer to an anime, I'd take it. Like
But
I'd be hyped for it.
well, what I mean is people were like, "Oh, they're putting so much effort in this. It's gonna be a completely animated opening." And it's like there's maybe like 5 or 10 seconds of real animation in there.
It's still a mobile game.
Yes.
This is a lot for a
Yeah.
mobile game. There are side characters. What's going on?
Well, that gets to some of the other details, like
Right, well, yeah.
like they announced pre-registration bonus items for if people pre-register. And Onke pointed out pre-registration in many of the cases is just emailing them or tweeting, so we can help people who will actually play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then then they announced two different retweet contests. A Shikishi from Straightener, which it's not as exciting as many of the Shikishi we've gotten over the last few years. It's very nice. It's not quite as exciting as what we got Kenji Watanabe drawing Metal Greymon. We have him drawing this. We have the people who work on Try drawing. Here we get autographs from them, and then in English, enjoy Digimon Rearise.
Mm-hmm.
It's very nice. It's just not exciting. And then another one for the Pendulum.
Yeah.
And most of the character profiles we went over last time. Did we have Mayu's last time?
I don't know if we had Mayu's.
I think she did because I think we talked about the making sweets, didn't we?
Possibly.
Yeah. So
I don't remember what we covered last time. It does feel like it's been a while, I guess.
Well, let's go ahead and go over Mayu again then. A considerate, kind-hearted first year studying at a vocational school. Her hobby is making sweets. And Kudamon, which I don't know why I love like the eye drawing for him.
Mm-hmm. I just love Kudamon in general. Kudamon is a great choice for
Kudamon's
a great choice for a kid's partner.
A cultured, level-headed Digimon. It is great at taking care of others and acts as a pillar of support for the gentle Mayu.
I really like the partnerships going on here. I think there's going to be some really interesting ones here.
Until Leomon dies.
No, even then and beyond.
Yeah.
That's going to be a wonderful turning point.
Although the one thing you said that's not quite right is these aren't really kids in general.
That's force a habit. These are older. 17, 18, 19-year-olds.
Yeah, I believe the youngest one is second year high school.
Mayu's first year. Well, first year vocational.
Yeah, that one's the translation on that one. Like it came up like 4 or 5 different things after discussing with Garmin. It could have easily been technical college.
Right.
I was told that it probably meant a vocational school, which probably would have her being an adult. So I think the youngest one, ignoring her since we're not sure, I think the youngest one's Michi.
Yeah, Michi would be the youngest.
Yeah.
Even then, it's like 16, 17.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we got the profile for Pusurimon, who I don't know why everyone just loves the little image we got of him. I
know why. It's adorable.
A quadrupedal Lessler type Digimon with yellow spines growing from its back. It is always running around energetically. It occasionally stops in its tracks but will fall asleep on the spot immediately after. It evolves into Erismon in the future. Like, I just love the it
Oh,
falls asleep part. Like, they decided that's what we need to know about this guy. He will be all actiony and awesome, and then he will just fall over and take a nap.
that's more of a character trait than we get from most baby
Yeah.
Digimon.
And then in V Jump, we actually got like some game details. Um, Adventure mode will be, basically your story, crises, that type of
Hmm.
stuff. Then there's a real. Then battle is 5 versus 5, which I think we figured out from screenshots.
Yeah.
But you can also fight against giant Digimon.
Hmm.
There's your basic raising mode, which doesn't look that different from what we've seen before,
Yeah.
and an interaction mode, which looks sort of Animal Crossing-y.
Excited about two of
Now,
those.
but have you noticed the oddest thing here? I mean, do you know what I'm gonna go with?
Not offhand.
What is the fucking game? Like, is this Digimon Links 2 with a story? Is this going to be a $20 downloadable, full story, crazy, not.
Oh.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what is this?
It's Digimon Re-Arise, and it has an adorable Pasurimon, and I'm probably gonna play it anyway.
Yeah. Well, if we get it.
If we, yeah.
Okay, so why don't you go over what do you want to see from this?
Well, frankly, what they said for adventure part, just the idea of it having some sort of a story involved. Like, if this ends up being like that $20 RPG type of game, that's what I would want to see. I mean, obviously, inside that game, you can have that battle element and the raising element and the interaction element.
Yeah.
But, combine all of those. I would rather this be like that $20 RPG than some
So
time sink money sink
okay.
RP than
So
time sink money sink mobile game.
so basically your hope is we're getting Digimon Story Junior rather than Digimon Links 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
I I don't disagree with you, but I wish because it feels like this could be out any day, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we had more of an idea what it actually was, because that feels kind of weird. Like,
Mm-hmm.
when you saw Digimon Links, you went, okay, I get what this is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we know what this is, and that just it. I mean, I've said it a lot. It just feels weird to me.
I guess it doesn't unsettle me because we're not. I
Getting it
mean, unless you download the Japanese,
to be
I'm not gonna play this until
to be
we
fair.
get a good feel for it.
To be fair, though, Bandai's been weird enough that it could just show up out of the blue.
That's true. I mean, I'm gonna play it anyway. And if whether it ends up being something I commit to and play the entire game, or it's like Links and I get tired of it in 2 weeks, that remains to be seen.
Yeah, we'll have much more to say about this. I just don't know if we don't have this by the time. I'm gonna go ahead and say by the time Try Part 6 is out, I'd be shocked
Okay.
because the theme song's out before then.
Yeah.
That's
This feels like it's coming out sooner rather than later.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing all the marketing and shit.
Looks like May is on.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and grab May and let's throw her in. If I can find the
And
damn
she is
button.
just as vulgar as she was last time from her messaging, it appears.
Here comes May. Can you hear us, May? Not quite yet. I should be humming Digimon, but I didn't think of it when I started this, and now I'm too far. I'm too far in. You take over, AR.
Hmm. No thanks. I'm not. I prefer to keep my singing to a karaoke night.
Hey.
There's May.
I have done the
Sorry about
Savers
that.
opening for karaoke night. If you wanted me to annoy you.
No. It happens. You only missed one or two things you would have wanted to talk about really, really deeply.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just completely slipped past like my alarms on my watch, so it didn't quite work out for me. Sorry.
It could be worse. We could have not moved the show, and then you would have slept through the whole thing.
Yeah.
So we're just finishing up with Rearise. May, do you have anything quick you want to say about it?
I want it so badly. Like,
Yeah, it's like this is.
Yeah.
We're talking about how we don't know what it is, but I'm like, I'm gonna play it if it comes out in English.
like
So
it's good.
like, yeah.
Yeah. So that's about it for Rearise. We will have much more to say with it. I really wouldn't be shocked if by the next episode it's just out.
Yeah, I hope so, because I want to have some harder things to talk about with this instead of vague images and stuff. But just the vague stuff that we've gotten has been more promising than anything I've seen for Lynx,
If anyone
even in the build up to it.
if anyone notices, I unhid May's face.
Yay! I'm unhidden.
You exist.
I exist. I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
So, moving on, we they put up the ticket images for Show You My Braveheart Volume 3, and they tailored them to each area, which is both fun and hilarious, and kind of makes you go, couldn't you have just done a different image for each ticket? So they did Nagoya style ramen for Nagoya, with the little fried shrimp thing on the side that doesn't really look like a shrimp to me, but okay. They did takoyaki for Osaka.
Of course.
Yeah. And then they did Tokyo Tower and the Tokyo Sky Tree for Shibuya, which
You can't eat that.
well, it depends how hungry Agumon is, because I get the feeling he probably could.
He could take a numb on Skytree.
Yeah. And the artwork was done by Kenji Watanabe, and if I remember the character's name right, it's Stradion. I assume that's a pun on the guitar. I don't think we have much more to say about this since we've kind of gone over it in detail, and none of us are going anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a gawk at the artwork subject.
Yeah. And
Speaking of which,
Tamer is good. That's a good segue. Yeah. We kind of did see the cover of this before because we got that nice spread in the last episode, in fact. And of course, this artwork's been elsewhere. This is what the cover of the audio drama CD is going to be. Now, the full title is Digimon Tamers 2018: Days, Information, and the Non-Ordinary. And it's out in 2 weeks, and
is that the most Tamers title you can come up with?
I feel like it's kind of a cheat when you go, this is non-ordinary. I mean, that was kind of like the entire fucking point of the show, to a degree.
I mean, most stories tend to dabble in the non-ordinary.
Normal thing about, donate, Patreon, that sort of thing. Even AR tossed that in a bit earlier.
I'm trying to help.
Yes. I feel like it's the same cover art, but I feel like the representation of what's on it perhaps will end up telling us roughly what we want to know.
Possibly. I mean, if it had been new art with like Takato in 2018, I think that would be a lot more revealing.
Well, to be fair, I should probably qualify what I mean. I mean in the sense of that it probably will be a Takato-led story.
Oh, well, I would assume that anyway.
It can be hard to tell with audio dramas, though.
Although, if you notice on the cast list, does Guillemon get top billing?
I'm trying to remember if that was on purpose or if I just mixed up the order. I'm going to say he had top billing when they originally gave the cast list. That might have changed.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, I mean, you look at the cast list, and
Yeah.
it's like the Digimon, then the Tamer, and then the Digimon, and then the Tamer, and then the Tamer because Renemon's VA isn't part of the project.
But also, who are you going to give top billing to if not Goku?
Yeah, fair.
I mean,
contractual thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're here for. It's Saturday, Dragon Ball Super ends today. We're here for Goku and
The
Gohan.
drama so we can listen to Goku.
Yes. It's a very interesting looking set. The one thing I'm very happy for is that they've confirmed there's nothing new in the booklet. That way I don't have to split the damn thing apart. Because those are pains in the asses. And this is already going to be complicated enough. And now, this isn't really news. I just wanted to go over it. Last time we went over how they were doing a big Terriermon figure. And the thing is, with the big Terriermon, we kind of went, well, it looks fine, but it's not, like, amazing or anything. Right? It was just kind of, it looked like Terriermon. And then we got the image of what it was. And I have to say, this is the best fucking thing ever.
It's so cute.
Like, it is the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And May, stop sending us trolly crap in the chat when we're trying to do this.
It looks really funny.
May's linking stuff, and May's linking stuff, and I'm like, oh shit, is there news? I click it, and it's figures of Omegamon and Diablomon dancing together.
It's important. It's really important to you guys.
They've
Yeah.
stayed up. They like each other now.
I'm sitting there going, oh shit, did they just announce V-Tamer anime or something? And I look, and it's them hugging, and it's like, fantastic. That's what we needed for the sign.
We were just talking about joking about them, since it's Anime Japan, them just dropping
Yes.
something major at
Yes.
7 8 a.m.
Yes. But the thing you have to remember is I'm sitting there going, okay, talk about Terriermon while also moving the mouse, clicking this, and trying to keep focus on what I'm talking about. I click, and up pops the Diablomon face. It's like, oh, fuck.
OTP.
Yeah. So, back
I
to...
should.
Yeah, great photo. I don't have Twitter open. I will retweet that when we're back, and then people listening to us a month later can be confused trying to find it.
Yeah, I just retweeted it
Yeah,
as well.
I gotta say though, the Terriermon plush, I just love like how stubbly it is.
Mm-hmm.
I like his big fat head.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean.
Little body.
Everything about him is like all chunky and fun, but it's like if you looked at the artwork they showed of him, it just looks like a really, really basic Terriermon figure. Like it's plush. There's nothing special about the design in it. It's very nice, but there's nothing special about the design. And then when we saw the plush, it's like he has these stubbly little legs. He has the belly. The head's oversized. The ears are far less like the ears were kind of static in the artwork.
The thing about the ears with these plushes, if you don't have one of these Terriermon plushes, and I've got one of the earlier ones, I assume they do it for the other ones, they add a little extra weight to the ears so that they swish around a lot better, and it makes it even more adorable.
Yeah.
The Terriermon's probably my favorite.
Yeah, this is the type of one that if I were in Japan, I would be sitting in front of one of these machines, kicking it, trying to get it as I'm losing money. Talking about losing money to plushes and stuff, they announced a bunch of more Crane Game stuff. So, first up we have the 8 plushes of the Digimon with the like mask hood things of their lower forms.
They're wearing the babies as a hat.
Now, everyone wants to talk about one of them. Anytime a picture of this has been seen since I put it up, there's only one of them everyone really wants to discuss first.
Is it the Tokamon eating Patamon?
Yes. we're like
Of course.
we're like they did the Tokamon teeth, and it just looks like amazing and horrifying at the same time.
Patamon's really happy about it too.
Yeah.
It's like, this is fine.
Yeah.
I accept this.
These all show up April 27th, and then we get
Oromon's having a little trouble digesting Agumon.
Yeah, he'll get through it, I think. The one that seems the weirdest to me is Gomamon. Gomamon's just like
That's just a weird color thing, yeah.
Gomamon doesn't know what's going on. Like, he has this look on his face like, eh. And then they did keychains, which
Tentomon's a weird one too. Just the...
I kind of love the sprite keychains for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's a cute little thing.
Yeah. I believe the coloring is all the revised versions that they used on the D1 for the 20th.
Okay.
Like, I don't believe that's what Metal Tyrannomon's coloring used to be in for sprites. Like, I think it was much more blackish.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I think
is that really the sprite for Yukidaramon? Just the
yes,
snowman?
it's just a snowman.
Yeah. No Edgemon though.
The it feels like they wanted to get a spread of all
Different
five
versions.
of all five versions. It feels like if
Mm.
these do well, they could very easily throw in more of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say no version 6, but then I remembered that it was Australia only.
Yeah. Well, if you take the Angemon and turn them upside down, close enough. Although I have to admit, when I was looking at these, there were a few of them I'm like, is that what the sprite looks like in color? Going and trying to figure out, is that actually the Digimon I think it is? Because the colors are so alien to me in a few cases.
Yeah.
Like looking at Garurumon, I'm like, I think that's Garurumon, but it's kind of like funkier looking than I remember.
Oh
And
yeah.
Okamon has more orange than I expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Edamon's perfect.
Well, yeah.
The one that was hardest for me to figure out, because until like it clicked in my brain, I did not see that as Numamon.
Yeah, no, that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sitting there looking, and I'm like, it's some sort of like purple melted thing, and I'm trying to like.
Is that Belch from Earthbound? What the heck?
Yeah. And so then I started just looking through the first five, and I'm like, wait, Numamon's in the middle. There's a poop, and for some reason they just outlined it in the like hardest color to deal with when you're looking at green and black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are nice. I want to say that some of this Crane game junk, haven't they been distributing to Australia as normal toys?
Not that I'm aware of.
I think Madman sells some. I mean, not like some of the newer ones, but I believe Madman has been selling some of the Crane game stuff as like normal crap on their website.
I mean, maybe some of the small plushies, and I know Critical Hit, which is a sort of like miscellaneous, like nerdy stuff store in Melbourne. I know they sometimes sell like some of the plushies that have been the Crane games, like the Tailmon, and like the We Love Digimon, but like not everything though.
I thought not everything, but I think Madman actually has bought like cases of this stuff and has been selling some of it.
Really, I haven't seen. I've only ever seen the stuff that Critical Hit gets.
It's possible they just got some extra stock, but I know one of my times trolling around their website for information, I'm pretty sure I saw a lot of this stuff. I just figured it was so old by that point it wasn't worth doing news about.
Yeah.
Moving on to artwork, there is no good images of this yet. And it's sad because it's such a nice image. We have Takaru with yet another hat, giving a 3-color Dango to Yamato, who's in his full gear. Patamon's asleep, and Gabumon seems even happier than he normally does, which is very odd to say. I mean, you can see the cherry blossoms. I want better. We need like a better quality of shot of this image because it is like a sequel to the prior image of Taichi and Hikari in winter.
Yeah.
I really think we need to talk to Takoto about his choice of hats because it does not go with what he's wearing at all.
I know. I believe the idea of the hat was it's supposed to be like a Wada Koji style hat.
Yeah, no, okay, I can see that.
The one thing I would like to see is like before all the promotional art ends, can we just get one time with some hat that's just purposely stupid and ludicrous? Like they're all real hats he's wearing, and minus that he's had like 50 of them, they would be reasonable if he just had any one of them. I would like to see one time with him with some sort of hat that just doesn't make any damn sense at all.
I'll send him a cheese head.
Yeah, give him a cheese head. Have him at a Packers game.
Yeah. Why not? Tell you what, I'm gonna miss these images when Try's over. Like, can they just keep putting these images out? And can they bring the Atmon ones back?
I was just about to say, I missed the Atmon ones.
Yeah, the Atmon ones I miss already.
The Atmon ones were really fun because it might have just been because they only had to do so many over such a short period. They felt a bit less. I'm trying to think of. It's not a bit less themed, but a bit more focused. Like the one with the try one we got just a few months ago that was very nice of Maki and Daigo when they were younger, but it was just kind of like random. It was sort of like they had it for filler 1 month, sort of. While all the Atmon ones felt very aimed.
Yeah.
That's it for that. Now here's something. My guess was May might already have this on order.
Oh, the Agumon, the
Yes.
V face Agumon.
Yes,
Yes, yes, I have.
life-size V-face Agumon. Um, there's been some argument that I've seen about that this is probably a bit smaller than life-size, but that's literally what they're. I'm not calling it life-size Agumon as a gag. It is called life-size Agumon.
Yeah,
Or,
well, weren't
I mean, that's in the name.
the stuffed collection ones also called life size, and they're not small, but like I wouldn't go
Th-
and say that they're life size.
This is a bit smaller
Bigger.
than the
Really?
Tailmon and Mekumon.
Oh, oh yeah, the Talmon Makermon
Yeah.
ones. Yeah, they're.
Yeah.
I would say the PC Buddy ones are almost life size.
I want to say this one is deemed to be life-size based on some of the artwork we've seen of where Agumon, like the, well, we'll see the image in a bit, but Agumon hanging on Taichi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to be about $80 before intermediary fees. And do you have this on order, May?
Yeah, I was refreshing Nippon Yasan the day that it was announced, and I immediately pre-ordered it.
This is one that I need to see like a live shot in action.
I will provide
really
I would provide
appreciate
many live
the,
shots.
the massive size of this.
See, I get like we don't have the announcements of any Tokuban yet. Assuming they do one or two, which we assume they will, we will get live shots of this. This will be there, I guarantee it.
Yeah, for sure.
And and even in the chat room, everyone wants to talk about Agumon's eyebrows.
Yeah,
It's been the number one
Jeez,
comment I've seen.
I put
just
that
the
as
face.
my notes too.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys want to say about the eyebrows?
For some reason, they make me hungry, and I don't know why. Oh, because they look like potato gems.
Potato what?
Potato gems. They're like little potato thingies. I really want potato gems. I've been craving them for like a week, and I'll probably buy some when I go grocery shopping it later. But like little like gems of potatoes, and you put them in the oven and you cook them, and they're like imagine like hash browns, but like in little like they're that shaped basically, but they're like little hash brown sort of things. Like they taste like hash browns, but they're
Like
fat and
like
they're small.
like
Oh.
tater tots?
I don't know what that is, but maybe.
Hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that sounds-
yeah.
It could be tater tots.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get the feeling a lot of people are probably nabbing this plush.
Mm.
Someone wants to know what the size is. The size is just a touch under 18 inches tall. And since he's sitting down, that'd be basically ass to eyebrow. The mouth, like, is the focus of this figure, though, like, hilariously. Do we have anything else to say about eating plush Agumon?
I love him.
There will be many photos from May when this is out in August.
Yeah, I'm gonna. What I did with my last large plushie is that, which was the Tailmon, I put it on the whole table for just to see how long it would take my flatmate to realize that it was there. And he walked past it like several times, and then when he did realize it, he just stared at it for like 5 minutes, then turned to me and said, "What is this?" And then he asked me if it was the one that evolves into the walrus.
Wasn't there a photo of like your dog sitting on the Meikumon one or something like that?
Yeah, I usually take it with my dog, but my dog lives with my parents, so it's harder to do that. Even though he only lives like 2 kilometers away.
Yeah.
I will take one of him with my dog. It is very hard though.
Now we get to move on to news that is borderline exciting for May.
Yes.
They announced Tri-Part 4 for the UK. It will be out.
One step closer.
It will be out.
It's a little bit closer.
It will be out April 30th, which is the week after our release. They're continuing the theme of doing the Blu-ray as a collector's edition, and they're screwing Gomamon again.
Aw.
So May, you're caught up now, right?
Yeah, chapter 3 came out the other week, and it was a weird, like, it's oddly low quality. Like the not the content, because the disc is just the same as I'd say the UK version, but the actual like case is just like weirdly pixelated. There's a weird shadow on it.
Yeah, you put up
that,
yeah.
Also the blurb is like just ripe with typos, like Digimons, and that they will lose their memories, and also it says the entire plot like I found when I was first watching chapter 3 that the whole like, oh, we need a reboot and they'll lose their memories was like a big twist
Yeah.
and a plot point. But they just say it on the blurb and say, but if they reboot the digital world, they will lose their memories and all sorts of typo there.
To be fair though, that might explain the memories even better than losing them. Their memories are loose.
Yes, they're loose, and that's why they came back so easily, or they were so easily restored.
Yeah.
Sort of.
So let's wait for part 4 to be called Loose instead of Loss.
Now,
Yeah.
all joking aside, I really do hope you guys get this soon, because if you don't, them rushing like crazy people to release part 3 really is kind of fucky.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. Like, oh, we have part 2 like 7 months late. Oh, also part 3 comes out
2 weeks later. Yeah.
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 And moving on to more stuff that I would guess, May, you probably have some of the stuff already.
Only the Mimi ones.
Yeah. Some of King of Systems extra stock has went up for sale on their various items from last time. And I mean, there's the can badges, there's the die cut stickers, there's the acrylic keychains of the artwork from the Part 5 karaoke collaboration stuff they did. And the most asked comment that I've gotten is why is Mimi holding a GameCube? There isn't much to say here. I would not be shocked if they did this again, though, because they did it for part 2 or 3, then they did a small one for part 4, then they did the huge one for part 5.
Yeah.
And now we get to move on to the thing that will never end until May 5th. Try part 6 stuff. We got another cast screening photo which AIM put up, which is her, Miho Arakawa, who's Mako, and Yukiko Morishita, who's Mekumon, with a bunch of plushies. I feel like, the best plushie here is the Agumon one, which they've posed up on top.
Yeah. I like the Palmon one.
Yeah. Plus, we got a really nice image showing all the tri-scripts.
I love that.
That's... I'm impressed. I'm surprised they haven't used this art for anywhere else. I think Part 6 is the only script cover that has been repurposed in any fashion.
Part 1, I want to say we saw that art somewhere.
Okay.
2, we didn't. 3.
Well, yeah, 2 was the 2 cover was released.
Yeah.
Like we saw someone. Picture of that
I know. I mean, yeah. I'm just going over if these have been used anywhere. 4 is a great piece of art which we never even saw.
I have never seen that.
No, we did not.
I don't think I've seen the 5 either.
5 we did not see, but I want to say that's. I might be imagining it, but I believe that's really close to the Was it the ending for part 4 where it was
the keep on the
Yeah, where it had the flipping squares. I want to say that's really similar to the one for Hikari and Tailmon, but I may be imagining that.
I love the Mimi one the best, though.
But that was in a different...
and
that was more of a...
And you realize what... Do you realize what the Part 6 one's supposed to be? Which is the best part?
Isn't it...
Taichi Yamato.
But no, it's them taking a photo at a concert.
Oh.
At one of Yamato's concerts. Look, he's dressed in his Knife of Day uniform with the outfit. He has the chain around his neck.
Oh yeah.
So it's supposed to be that he's acting all cool, and Taichi's like jumped in for a photo.
That's cute. Yeah. Taichi is Yamato's biggest fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the art that they're putting on the bonus one for buying all 6 parts, isn't it?
No, because that one has Agumon and Gabumon, and Taichi's in his Yamato's in his school outfit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so that's another one that. Yeah, they need to use all these somewhere.
Yeah, I just want to buy the scripts.
Well,
that too.
What I'm really hoping when it's done is that they do a script book.
But like, I'm not sure if I'm the only one who thought they saw this and freaked out a bit. But on the reunion one, so the first one, little small blue one, I swear, like I saw Daisuke, just at the bottom left, just near where it's Greymon's claw, but it looks like Daisuke from afar. Like,
Wait,
if you look at his
wait.
claw on the left-hand side, and
I'm trying.
bottom left.
I'm trying to like shrink the image and move my head further and further back from the computer screen, trying to go like, it's kind of fuzzy. I can kind of like the one claw that shadowed might be hair, and I can. Yeah. Okay. See, I've
Yeah,
moved.
looks like the goggles.
I can,
sort of.
I
Okay.
can kind of
Okay.
see
I've moved
what
back
you're
far
saying.
enough where the middle claw is shadowed, so it looks like hair, and right underneath it, you can sort of see goggles and a head, and below
then,
that,
yeah,
there's sort
face.
of an arm.
Yeah.
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 And then a leg stepping out. But because when I saw that, I thought it was the chapter 6 one, and I freaked out.
Great.
Oh.
So
Because it was
okay.
like, Daisuke confirmed.
Okay.
Well, the thing
But,
about that
yeah.
part 1 was it looks like Agumon and Grandmon are infected.
Evil. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to see,
Foreshadowing?
so for everyone listening, if you want to see that, what you need to do is you need to look at the script. You put your head as close to the screen as possible. You cross your eyes. You
I'll
hold
have
it.
bad eyesight.
Then you pull back. You keep going back. You keep going back. And then at some point, it just like bleeds together, and you're like, "Oh shit, Daisuke's there."
I can't
Yeah.
see the boat.
It's a fucking sailboat.
That's an old
Yeah,
reference.
yeah. AR gets the joke. May does not.
My flatmate's laughing. I don't know why. I was just thinking about Nice Boat.
Uh,
I never watched Seinfeld.
joke from an old movie where there's literally a character who's only in the movie looking at an old
Yeah, he
eye
spends the
graph
whole movie
Be-
staring at one of those 3D images.
because
and-
people keep telling him there's a sailboat, and people just keep wandering by and go, "Oh,
Oh,
it's
I
a,"
see it.
and
Yeah.
someone will go, "Oh, it's a schooner," and he'll go, "Haha, it's not a schooner, it's a sailboat." And then the kid goes, "A schooner is a sailboat."
I'm that guy, by the way.
Yeah,
I can't-
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and the scripts were put up by a writer for Hyper Hobby because their upcoming issue on April 5th will have interviews with Chika Sakamoto and Mayumi Yamaguchi, who's Agumon and Gabumon. And the interview was apparently held right after they saw Tri Part 6, and the writer was like, "Yeah, they were crying." And then they put this really nice promo photo where it's an Agumon and a Gabumon plush sitting from the back looking at the poster.
Aw. Look, if there's not a puddle underneath me by the end of this movie, I'm gonna be pretty disappointed. Like, I want this movie to make me cry. Like, I thought Try would be like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry in every movie, but the only one that actually made me cry was, or tear up a little bit, was chapter 3, slightly, but not like, there weren't puddles or anything.
So you're not gonna cry at the funeral scene where they bury the O2 kids?
Oh no, I'll cry at that because I like Miyako and Ken.
When I did a public screening at a con for Part 2, I managed to get a screening of Part 2 the weekend it came out at a con, and as a joke, I put a stack of Kleenex in the middle by the projector, and during the Joe Mimi scene, someone actually grabbed a couple.
Aww.
I
Okay,
could
that's a good scene.
I could see that scene being really touching, like if you flash back to growing up and trying to make those types of decisions.
That scene hits people hard if they were in that position before.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in Mimi's position, but I've never been in Joe's position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I know people who have been in Joe's position that say, yeah.
Now, shall we get to now that we've brought everyone down? Shall we discuss a party?
Oh, yeah.
I'm so sad that this is the final one, though.
Try-
Party.
Chai Music Cafe is back, and see, here's the secret of Chai. Because as we know, random people keep telling us, Chai is a failure, and Toei and Bandai know how to make us think that it wasn't. They keep doing more stuff and making it bigger each time to try to trick us. So
More CSA
They don't have to
Digivices.
spend money to get this space,
Yeah.
do they?
So we had one music cafe, then we had two, and now because it's the last one, they really want to fool us. They're doing three.
I'm really
Yeah.
looking to the art for this one.
Yeah, the promotional art is great, and I like that this time there will be no argument or discussion between us what the theme actually is.
Oh yeah.
Because like last time we were sitting there like debating what it was gonna be, and we all like were mostly right but slightly off. They've told us it works perfectly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean
There's a
Agumon.
lot of exciting possibilities.
Agumon there with the loose tie. So this one they're calling the Digimon Adventure Tri Music Cafe and Anion Station Final Party.
A rap
The
party. I love the idea.
it's not,
Everyone's dressed up, but they're still chilling.
well, the theme
I
isn't
just
really
love Agumon. He's dressed up too. It's
the
so
theme.
cute.
The theme isn't really a rap party. It's the chosen children just holding a party for the fans.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Rap parties probably would not have the streamers falling from the ceiling.
Mm.
So this one's going to be at the big main Akihabara one between April 18th and May 27th. The other two kind of confused me a bit. The Namba Park and the Nagoya Become Sakai starts on May 9th and ends June 3rd. It starts after it's already begun.
Yeah.
Try Part 6 out. That's a little... I mean, like, it's still going to be in theaters, but it's a touch odd. The key art's perfect that we've got previews of. I mean, we commented on already. Agumon just looks so happy.
Yeah.
He looks so happy. He's
Very
like, I'm wearing a
satisfied.
tie.
Yeah.
I get to
Mhm.
eat.
Yes. And it just looks perfect, and I look forward to going over the menus. I really hope they don't do any more yogurt drinks, because anytime because like when they write the menus, they write like just like a name and a very basic description that often doesn't explain it well, so I rewrite everything.
Mm.
Like the yogurt drinks like make me gag when I'm doing it. It's like just this thick gloopy mess. So we will see what the food, drinks, and no doubt copious amounts of crap to buy will be.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So we'll have much more to say about this. Do we have anything more to say at the moment?
Not right now.
I'm going to Japan in December, and I know there won't be any of these, and I'm really sad.
Are you sure there won't be any of these?
I mean, I guess pessimistically speaking, I'm there like December, January, so but I don't think there'll be any
That's-
Digimon stuff unless there is.
But
That'll be
that's what I
exciting.
mean. Try could end, and they could
Atmon
immediately
Season 2.
they could immediately announce a new film series that begins in December, January, whatever.
VTame or Atmon Cafe.
I'm trying to remember if there was a whole lot of
Gash
stuff
Max.
going on in December, January in the past.
They
Well,
had,
it's
winter things, didn't they?
it's generally been aimed about on if there's been stuff coming out around then.
Yeah, and I don't think there has been, which makes me wonder.
Yeah, we'll see.
But my memory could be failing me
Yeah.
on that one.
Yeah.
Cross your fingers.
Yeah, and they will
Oh,
be
cross wars my fingers.
and
There you
I like
Times
Cross
Wars your
Wars.
fingers.
Yeah,
Fight
oh,
me.
yeah. I like Cross Wars too, but the joke was fucking horrible, man. You have to admit that.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, the joke was garbage, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Cross Wars is fucking.
Yeah. Yeah,
Times Wars your fingers.
yes, my comment.
Oh no! Oh, that's worse. That's worse.
Yes, my commentary is not about Cross Wars. It's about the joke, and I think me being a smartass confused someone in the chat. I was being a smartass because people keep popping up telling us how much Try is a failure and how it's not doing well, and you can easily tell if something's a failure because it's very easy to bury something if you want to.
Yeah, like I feel like every couple of weeks there's someone like a different person in the Digimon subreddit asking, "Oh, so Try's a failure, right?" I'm like, have you seen how much merchandise they're making and continue making?
Like Try Part 1 came out and we had reasonable merchandise. Try Part 2
Yeah.
came out, I was like, oh, that's great. They did like 20% more stuff, so Try's doing well. Try 3 comes out, it's like, oh wow, they're starting to do all kinds of other stuff. Try Part 4 came out, it's like, oh god, fucking stop, please. Then Try 5, and it's just like, it's like it's like the
Non-stop.
it's the I Love Lucy conveyor belt.
Yeah, like Tri-Fi was immense
Yeah.
with the amount of merchandise.
Yeah,
Like the
and-
Goemon Bowl.
And now
And honestly, if Try wasn't doing that successfully, they don't have to put any of these in
Yes.
theaters if they really don't want to.
no, because here's the thing, they're not really in theaters to be movies. It's
Right.
it's marketing for the products, the home video release, mostly the products, and that's where Try gets confusing because people want to know like why aren't we seeing Try figures? Because they don't need to make them. They're advertising for the adventure stuff.
Oh, we did see that Taichi one by Fig
Yeah,
Arts, which
yeah,
was,
but that was kind of a
it's good
cheap.
from afar.
But that was kind of a cheap thing.
Yeah.
So for now, the goal of Try, product-wise, they're doing the everyday stuff, the tie-in events, and some really, really crazy, super high-end stuff that no one's buying that we know of because none of us can afford it. Like those crazy poster prints
Mm.
that were like $200 or $300, and they're printed on canvas and they're made by hand.
Mm.
The figures, are they're very clever with the figures, though I have to admit.
Yeah.
Just doing really high-end adventure stuff and just marketing them around Try. Like they have,
Mm.
they have them on display in the theaters and everything.
Also, nostalgia sells probably better than Try. I mean, I like Try, but I feel like the nostalgia factor is still a bigger power.
Mm-hmm. For
I,
sure.
I believe we will start getting Try stuff probably around when it's over, and also it will be stuff that's more unique to Try.
Mm.
Because like people would want to know, well, why not an Agumon Try figure? Because you don't need to do it because it's the same character. It's just a slightly
Yeah.
tweaked design.
Yeah.
Well, we have the V-Face plushie now.
Yeah, but that could easily just be Adventure Agumon if you
Mm,
hand it. That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
The thing,
I have a specifically Try Taichi plushie.
yeah,
But
yeah,
these
yeah,
are plushies, and we're talking the high end stuff.
Yeah,
That's
but
definitely geared towards the older series.
yeah. But in the case of the Digimon, which is where a lot of the demand does stem,
Mm-hmm.
the designs are similar enough. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But moving on from this, and we will have more to say about this, including, no doubt, when I go over the menu item by item and we try to figure out, is this good or terrible? And now we get to go to all the Tri-Part 6 stuff. Well, more Tri-Part 6 stuff, shall we say. So first up, we got a really nice 90-second trailer. Like,
Mm.
I mean, I know some people are like, spoilers, but let's be clear. If it's in an actual normal trailer, it's not a spoiler anymore.
Right.
I mean, I don't like to be mean like that.
Spoilers. Trailers can be accused of revealing too much, but it does not make it a spoiler.
It may spoil something in it, but you can't. I mean,
I would say it may reveal something in it that it probably would be more enjoyable to encounter on its own rather than in the trailer. But that means that disqualifies it from being a spoiler.
Yeah, in the same way that we got the theater list also in more theaters than all of Try, and we got an updated Try Part 6 poster, and this is where there's no way to hide this anymore, because some people are like, you're putting it on the front page of the site, you're tweeting it. Look, it is
This is not a spoiler.
No, it may spoil something for someone. I understand, but here's the thing. It's no longer it's not like when in the trailer when we see something happening and we're not quite 100% sure.
This goes from something to be surprised by to something to be excited to see.
Yes. They have a film poster. He's on it. There is no hiding it at the, I believe the last time some people are really upset that, I mean, I feel like all three of us have discussed it on Twitter to some degree, because you can't hide it. It was sort of like trying to hide Undead. Toei was doing marketing with the photo, interviews with Kenji Watanabe. There was no hiding it.
Yeah, obviously, I wouldn't believe that it's a big part. That means it's not a huge part of the movie then, like a huge part, right?
Well, I would assume it is the new evolution type character. That is the thing.
That's never been the huge thing of the movie, each movie, the evolution.
The only surprise is that we didn't know about it when we first got the poster for Part 6.
Yeah, and it's good that we have two. I like both.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about Mimi's face for 2 seconds?
Okay,
please?
yeah.
She's ready to fucking fight.
Okay, so here's
Isn't she always though?
Well,
everyone else is we've got Hikari's I am light, and Tiga's yes, hope, and no, Joe also is ready to fight. There's Joe.
There's been some great stuff of Mimi that's the way I like to put this one is yeah, my Digivice is green. Want to fight about it?
Yeah.
It was sort of like the screen capture someone did of Part 5 where the vines were grabbing them.
Oh yeah.
And Mimi, someone captioned it with I will fucking fight every one of these plants.
Yes. I saw that.
Although most of them look kind of pissed off in this.
Yeah, but Mimi's like she's gonna fight the most. Like
Yeah.
she's gonna be like, yeah, my Digimon's a plant. You wanna fucking fight about
Yeah,
it? Son?
exactly.
Sora looks pretty
Now-
ticked off too.
Now, the weird thing though is, did you guys look at the U.S. version of the poster?
I think
No,
so.
I don't think I did.
Okay, Toei put it up in glorious high resolution, but JPEG'd all the crap. But you can still see like the faces much better, and everyone is drawn with really fucking angry eyes. Like even Hikari has this like fuck you glower to her.
there you go.
Yeah,
I'd be pissed off too if I was Hikari.
yeah,
Yeah,
She could've had a whole movie.
Hikari, yeah, she's light from a distance. Inside, she's all hatred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Mako's kind of ticked off.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Koshir.
Jenna licked her.
But no, like Sora.
Well, Sora's ticked off too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're all
Sora's-
pretty.
Everyone's pretty pissed.
They
Well,
all
well,
Joe's
well,
angry.
Well,
They've all got their game faces.
Jedi choked Mako out, so that's what
Yeah.
Mako's upset about.
And licked her. Oh no, that was Sora. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. No.
Mimi's just upset that her Digivice is green. That's why she's holding up. She's like, "Why is my one fucking green?"
No, she's not upset that it's green.
She's ready
She's
to
like,
battle.
it's green and that's great.
And Yamato's upset because they have his
Yamato.
arm posed all weird.
True.
He's holding his invisible shield.
Yes.
They've all got their hands balled in fists too.
Yeah, and what's Takaru looking at? Couldn't they have given him a hat or something?
Maybe he's looking at Patamon because Patamon's looking at Hikari again. I don't know.
Possibly. And what do we all think of the merciful mode design? Because people seem to be really enjoying arguing about it. I fucking love
like
it,
it.
to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
I-
It's it's what merciful mode should look like.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like, and it's come up from a few different people, it feels like if you like the Tron aesthetic, you love this design.
Mm-hmm.
It also reminds me of Paladin mode. I
D-
guess because it's white.
It also has a bit of it's sort of a parallel countering Ordinamon.
Yeah.
With
Mm.
Well, that I'm not 100% sure it's on purpose.
I'm drawing that from a not necessarily from a design point, but from just a literary point.
Now, since a lot of people have decided they want to comment on it, do we believe there's a reason why it appears the katana's backwards? I've heard a number of people point out Kenshin.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Well, I remember Rudy Kenshin. Like, it's because it's merciful, and he's like he doesn't actually want to kill anyone.
Yeah.
He just wants to knock them out. And
He's
say, hey,
using
you're
the
being
dull
naughty,
side.
stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I really hope. I mean, we're not going to. I would love to see War Greymon and Metal Garurumon with the color and style there. I feel like it benefits Metal Garurumon a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Like it really goes well with that. While War Greymon sort of just looks like a recolored War Greymon. For some reason, the aesthetic works really well for Metal Garurumon there.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
So we'll see there. What do we think of the name Merciful Mode?
I think it's alright. Like, it could be a cool thing,
Let's-
especially if the katana's linked, right?
Let's see if I want to see it in context.
Yeah, you
Like,
should.
How is it used? How is it used in the movie?
What you should have
before
seen in
I
context
call
was
on
me trying to figure out the fucking name. I'm sitting there like going over it character by character. I'm like, Mercy Full Mode. I'm like, that doesn't quite make sense. And I'm like, move a character over Merciful Mode. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. I'll go with that. And then more Tripart 6 stuff. We know when they're going to have the early preview screening, so we know when people need to basically avoid social media, and that's April 6th.
Goodbye, everybody.
And it's going to be at the Wall 9, and there's only going to be one. I mean, the Wall 9 has been like the home base of Tri. And can we point out how the guests are going to be Natsuki Hanai, who's Taichi, Yoshimasa Hoyos. Will someone else say his name? I always screw it up.
Which name?
Hosoyas.
Is this on the?
Hosoya.
I'm trying to
Just
find the
Hosoya.
post.
No, the first name. I always say it wrong.
Hosoya.
It's Yoshimasa, but we decided to
Close
say
enough.
Hosoya.
Okay, so Yamato, who's Yamato, and Junya Inoke, who's Takaru, are the scheduled guests. Can we point out how Hanai and Hosoya got new like headshot artwork, and Inoki is still like the one where he's just really happy to be there type thing that they've been
Yeah.
using for years.
It matches TK though.
Yeah, it
Like his
matches.
face.
Yeah, it's very Dick Harry.
Well, like, I've liked seeing when they've updated certain headshots, and they need to update certain other ones because like I still don't recognize um, Hitomi's headshot when they put her in the meme art. They use this old. They use like this old shot of her. Like it has to be just years and years old. It doesn't look like her, and it confuses the hell out of me every time I see it. Because we know she's gonna show up at one of the Tokubans because she always does. And I want them to stop using that shot because it always confuses me. Because it doesn't look like her at all. And then we have a bunch more stuff because Anime Japan's happening, and I need to edit the show when we're done in case they decide to announce something on it on Sunday. So,
Yeah.
because it's the 5th anniversary of Anime Japan, they did some 5th anniversary type stuff, and they did some of it of Taichi with the art. They did a can badge and an acrylic keychain.
It's one of the many characters that are
Yeah.
having has that pose, yeah.
Randomly packed and hard to find, no doubt, because of the, well, like I said, it's random.
I've seen pictures though. It's
Yeah.
he's out there.
And
You got your shot.
yeah, and if you go to the booth,
You're telling me there's a chance.
yeah, if you go to the booth, take a picture, do a tweet, they give you a postcard of the original train card artwork, which has Victor very upset because Victor still has like 450 earlier versions of that same postcard that they sent him. So he's like, "No, ask me for it. I will send them to anyone."
I'll take one.
Oh, yeah, I'll take one.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
Everyone, yeah.
Yes, everyone go harass Victor on Twitter.
Yep.
He will send you the. It's not the exact same one, but it's close enough.
Yeah, I don't have the one with the kids on the car. I have the one with the Digimon, but
Yeah, yeah. Everyone go tweet Victor. He will give them to you. Like he literally has like a case of them. And there's been booth photos, and I've been retweeting lots of them, including I don't know, just tons of them.
yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, and the Agumon and Gabumon suits are there, amusing people, and the dude playing Gabumon's really energetic.
Yeah,
That's good because Gabumon's a dog.
Yeah, and I believe it is the Australian anime streaming site Anime Lab posted a clip. He literally
Yeah.
jumps at them.
Yeah, I think I might have
Yeah.
retweeted that one.
That's fantastic. And then they're on display there, and they're also in V-Jump. I think we need to talk about the new products.
Yay.
So let's start with the Digivice first. New version of the CSA Digivice, which is the Digivice Tri-Memorial. It's based on the Shining one we see in the trailer. It has the Tron lines. Pre-order start April 27th. And we're assuming it's going to have new sounds and everything and be updated. I would expect it's just going to be like a final try version of it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Price is the same, and this is the most common question I get is people getting ready to run off and wanting to order it because they didn't get a Digivice. This is not an LCD toy game thing. This is a prop. It lights up, it makes noises, it looks very pretty. Please do not go and buy this thinking you're getting a V-Pet adventure thing.
It's still pretty fun though. Like it's
No,
really good as a cosplay prop.
No, it is. But if
Yeah.
someone's getting this expecting like the 15th anniversary Digivice but updated for Tri,
Yeah.
they're going to be very disappointed because after the intermediary fees and stuff, it's going to be $100 for something that is not what they thought it was, and that's not going to work.
right.
I know when the first CSA Digivice was announced and the price was announced, people were like, oh, but doesn't that just sort of like
Oh no,
say, hey, if you've already bought the 15th, and everyone's like, no, it's not
Yeah.
the 15th, it's not like the 15th.
yeah, that was like the one try thing I was able to jump and grab easily because that's like I'm just not
good, I like it.
I'm not a VPET person. I just don't want to sit there doing it. But it's like
Yeah.
you can have something I can just put really nice on my desk and occasionally press a button and music blasts out of it or Agumon screams out of it. That's exactly what I want.
Yeah, and when I was cosplaying to Madman's Anime Festival last year, I brought that one as the cosplay prop because it would light up for photos, and that is really useful if you're a
Yeah.
cosplayer. But yeah, it's not a
Yeah.
VPET, and
Yeah.
it's not a pedometer adventure toy.
Yeah, this is and whenever I explain it, people get really confused when I say it's a prop. They're like, but it's a cartoon. It's like, yes, they've made a real world prop type item.
That's cool.
The mold looks the same. The coloring is much brighter, which it's called the Shining Digivice, so that works.
The shinning.
Yeah. Good old Simpsons.
There we go.
Good old Willie. So I really, really am gonna try to get this because I really want it. And oddly, I don't think it ever occurred to me to scan stuff for the first one, so I may have to go back and do that when this comes out.
I wonder if there'll be any special like keychain like there was with the first one.
I would hope not, because it's not that I didn't like the keychain. It felt like that was something that just should have been sold separately rather than as an upgraded collector's edition that you had to buy this if you wanted the keychain at all.
I mean, I felt cool because I have it.
No, but you know what I mean, though.
Yeah, no, yeah, no.
Like I don't believe you could buy that separately. Is what I mean.
No.
You had to, yeah.
I think you can only buy it there. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna get it. I know May's gonna get it.
Oh yeah.
AR, I'm guessing he's not, but I'm betting he's at least considering it.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have.
It's one of those
Not
things.
gonna lie.
It's one of those things where it's like, okay, $70.
If I'm-
Okay, it's basically after intermediary fees. Can someone afford $100?
And that is the kind of thing where the right vendors could have that at conventions as well.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do everything I can. I know May will. I'm gonna go ahead and say AR will waft back and forth on why am I gonna buy this stupid expensive thing, and then he's gonna end up getting it because it's like the final signature try item type thing. It's like the special Digivice from the end. He's gonna get it. And then we have one last series of Tri Rubber Straps, the Ultimate Level Complete Edition.
Yep.
They only showed 4 of them in V-Jump, but photos from Anime Japan have revealed the rest. These will be out in May. They'll be 300 yen each in Gashapon capsules. 10 of them total. We get a new pose of War Greymon, which is great. A new pose of Metal Gurumon. Then we get Huomon, Hercules Kabuterimon, Rosemon, Vikemon, Seraphimon, Holy Dramon, Ordinemon, and Merciful Mode. And
I want to know who's like dying to get a rubber strap of Ordinamon.
yeah,
That's cool.
the only thing we're not sure of is the display actually had older straps of War Greymon and Metal Gurumon also.
Yeah, I noticed
Yeah.
that from the,
So-
I think
so-
the last one
Now the thing
or the
is
second.
this has been specified to be a series of 10, so we're assuming those were just there for display. But it's always possible those could be re-released separately or mixed in or something. But the marketing for the stuff has specifically said it's 10. So we aren't 100% sure what the other 2 are doing there. You could have literally seen me last night going through going, I'm pretty sure these are old straps, looking going, okay, these are from here and here.
Yeah, those look like old straps.
And then me laying in bed at 3 a.m. going, I didn't look to see if the Hoomon one existed. And it's like that's one like in my head looking at the pose. It feels like we've gotten it before, but I don't think we have.
Yeah, no, I don't think we've gotten that.
Yeah.
But it feels like something we should have gotten before.
Yeah, it's like, have we gotten any of the other ultimates besides War Greymon and Metal Gurumon? That's a...
Yeah, it's like I know we didn't get Holy Dramon. I know we didn't get Seraphimon and Vikemon because those poses are so fantastic. I would have remembered them.
Rosemon's so good.
Rosemon, we were getting the kids at the time and like the child level
Yeah.
Digimon. I don't remember getting Hercules, but like when I look at Hoomon, anytime I look at it, I'm like, I could swear we've gotten this thing before.
Yeah, the whole that one does look familiar.
Now, do you think we will get a surprise grouping with extras with Racielmon and Regulmon?
Maybe.
Maybe.
It's worth mentioning. We don't actually know if Racilmon shows up like lot. Like if we were to go back to the
Yeah.
90, 50, 10, I feel like
Mhm.
Racilmon showing up's like 90%. I mentally can't do the hoops that she doesn't show up in some fashion.
Right. It's like it's there. Let's see it.
Yeah.
Like let's see the good one.
Yeah.
They can sell because
Yeah.
that's another Digimon they can sell product of.
Okay. Now, if you could only get 3 of these, which ones would you want? Let's go ahead and start with May. If you could only get 3 of them.
Definitely Rosemon, Phoenixmon, and Holydramon.
Not bad choices, AR.
Rosemon, probably Merciful Mode, and Vikemon.
Merciful Mode, definitely. Vikemon, I would have to go with Vikemon or Seraphimon because I just love the poses for both of them. But
the trouble is, it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
make some of them out from the
Yeah.
pictures we're getting.
Yeah.
Like you don't really see all of them up close.
Yeah. But like Rosemon, like the pose is great, and I want Rosemon also. But it's sort of like I want Seraphimon, Vikemon. It's sort of so I'd probably go with Merciful Mode, Rosemon, and Vikemon. The Vikemon pose may be one of the best poses we've ever seen in one of these straps.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just perfect, and the new War Greymon's pretty good also. The new Metal Garurumon, I know what they're going for, but just kind of looks kind of
He's chasing the mailman.
it looks kind of lean. Like I know the photo is not straight, but like even looking, like turning your head and looking at straight, it's a bit too 3D-ish. The pose, like you need depth for that pose to work. And do we have anything else to say about the rubber straps? Minus, I kind of hope we get more of them when it's over. I mean,
I'd like one more series.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah,
By December and January.
yeah.
Just
We need Crazy Eyes Maki with her rifle.
Yeah. I want the rifle to turn out to be a
no.
Digimon, like it's Gundramon, her
Yeah.
true partner.
it's like the swords. Yeah.
I am happy though that they revealed the straps late enough that there's no spoilers involved.
Yeah.
Because in the
Yeah.
past they would gray them out in some photos and not gray them out in others before we had any clue from trailers or other content what was going on. Like, I'm
Yeah.
glad our first look.
Trailers revealed Holy Dramon
Yes.
and Merciful
Yeah.
Mode for that matter.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Although I
wonder if they did that intentionally
Well-
to be able to show these off.
I should mention, and this goes back to where people go, have you ever not posted news before? And I go, it's based on what we have, and if I can confirm. I did have a list of the straps like a month and a half ago.
Oh.
But it's one of those where it's so obvious, and yet there's no like when it's just a list of 10 straps, and the list is War Greymon, Metal Garurumon, Ordinamon, blah 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 blah, and then it ends with Holy Dramon and Omegamon, and then there's just like an asterisk next to Omegamon. It's like it says Omegamon, and there's nothing here that's information. Now, it ended up being real, but that could have been a fake list, and it was just a guess because these are about the 10 most obvious ones you could do.
Right.
Because, like, was there a reason for the asterisk next to Omegamon, or was it just an asterisk because Omegamon showed up before and it was signifying he was new?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those times where I didn't post anything because what am I supposed to post? We're getting rubber straps, and it says we're going to get the most obvious Digimon possible.
Yeah.
That's it for news. You guys start thinking up questions. Now, I hadn't fully decided what topic was going to be because, long news episode. How do you guys like the notes that I put for this, though?
Jeez.
A few people actually asked me to do this in more detail because I had kind of skimmed it last time, was how we put the podcast together. I had actually like multiple people going, you were kind of rushed putting it together. Could you explain it slightly less crazy? So at random, I will go into the front page of the site and go, I will go through each item. I will copy paste the link. I will write a very short blurb which ends up becoming the proto versions of the overlay. I will also put down, suggestions for what photos we're going to use. And I do that every couple days because sometimes the news just shoots off the front page. And at that point, I have to manually go through the threads and it becomes confusing and annoying. And roughly around the same time I'm doing that, that's when sometimes ARMA will pop up with an idea for a topic discussion.
Mm-hmm. Which we did not do this time.
No. Yeah, and the truth is there was so much news this time. Who knew how long? So before the last live episode, about maybe 2 weeks before, AR says he has an idea for a guessing game, and I'm like, it sounds.
I stepped up last time.
Yeah, and AR says he has an idea for a guessing game. I'm like, that's and he skimmed over it relatively quickly, and I'm like, that sounds fine. Write up a full thing before. Mm-hmm. Basically before the Monday where we're doing the show so that I know what we're doing. He did that, and then that I rewrote shorthand for the notes, basically just a few lines so we all knew what the hell was going on.
I'll tell you what, that prediction game has been doing. I've kind of expanded that on my Tumblr.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you've been really enjoying that.
Into that. It's been a lot of fun.
What I like was there was one change I made to it, which I think you ended up using since then. I don't remember what it was, though. I think it might have been like the exact percentages I put or something were slightly different than what you originally wrote, but I don't remember.
No, I've had 90-50-10, so...
Okay.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Anyway.
Then, we hit around... It's about Friday the week before the podcast. At that point, I make sure the notes are coherent, and I throw them at Justin. Because Justin does not like when I do title cards, because I will go, this is good enough, let's move on. Justin then starts screaming. And sometimes rightfully so, to be fair. He will start doing the title cards based on what I did. I will double check times, dates with May and AR. And it will be like, okay, this is good. So, and then the first image I get back from Justin is basically the pseudo ad type image that we throw up on Monday-ish. At that point, then, Justin's throwing me other cards. I'm going over them with him. We're arguing over minutia that would make everyone else think we're insane. Like wording on cards, images on cards. Because one thing that I started doing just to make it a bit easier to do the shows is every topic does not get a card anymore. There's much more compositing of cards, which I believe AR much prefers it that way anyways, and it lets us be a bit breezier. We
can be a little broader on some subjects that are either connected or don't warrant enough attention on their own. Like
the Anime Japan card, if we'd done it a year ago, that probably would have been 3 or 4 separate cards.
Yeah.
And putting it together let us go back and forth, talk about it in different ways, and it just works really well. And it also lets us skim over stuff that we don't have much to talk about without it feeling artificially, where we're just going, we don't have anything to say here, we don't have anything to say here, we don't have anything to say here. We can just go, this stuff's interesting, let's move on. And cards still being worked on. Around when the cards are mostly done is basically Wednesday. And on Wednesday, I go through the notes again, I copy them to another text file, and I go through and I rewrite them in HTML. And those are the notes that we use during the show. I put up little images, basically so that if any of us don't want to check the links, which are also there, we have enough information to talk if we really want to without looking up stuff. But I mean, I tend to be opening up tabs and going back and forth. I don't know if you guys do. Do you?
I usually do during the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tab between.
I make. Yeah, like I will copy the notes you send and put them in my own file so I can add my own comments to them when I've got them. But I'm also going through the notes as the show goes on to click links and such.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning, these aren't the notes you guys end up seeing at the end. These are like, I wouldn't say they're not messy, but they're very much intended for us to be able to skim information without...
Mm-hmm.
It's basically there so that as we're switching title cards, all of us know what's coming up whether the title card is up yet or not. So, we'll have a little image, a link, and maybe a few lines of information from me. When I put the notes up for the show, it's just links so that everyone can go see them, because you can watch the show live where you have the title cards and everything. At that point, then, stuff is generally in flux because it's Wednesday. The note file is done, but the problem is there's still days left. So Thursday and Friday, like this week, news was popping up at a pace during that stuff. So I'm throwing more stuff to Justin. He's throwing cards to me. I'm altering the order of the notes because May and AR normally have them around Wednesday night, and I always have a little basically, I always tell them they're not quite done yet, and sometimes they notice that I'm moving stuff around. Sometimes up to the moment we're doing the show. Then around Friday, I go into a program called OBS Studio, and I layer all the images on top of each other in the order we're going to discuss them. And I can basically turn them on and off at will, where I've named the files, I've put them in order. So I basically just go down a list and go, we're done talking about that. I click a button, the card disappears, the new card pops up underneath. That's also why because May sometimes isn't here because her hours are so odd compared to ours. That's why she's asleep basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
No. I'm mostly explaining it to explain the way the cards work. You're basically popping up at 7 a.m. for you. That's very early.
Yeah.
And that's also why.
If I had to do this at 7 a.m., I'd be sleep. I would be in the same position.
Yes. Yeah.
I'd strolling in at 7:30 with Starbucks as well.
Yeah. The earliest I've ever shown up for the show is noon. I believe for AR the earliest has been 2 p.m.
Depends on what. I mean, when the show starts, I'd say I've been in like half hour early at times. It depends on what else I got going on.
Yeah. So that's part of why. If May is late because of sleep, that's why. And I'm popping it on and off right now. I can just turn any of them on or off at will. And the one at the top is a little blocker that I can add for if May is asleep, because it does happen. And most of the time, if she's not going to show up, she tends to send a message saying she's going to be asleep.
Yeah, except for right then.
Yeah.
Which was unplanned.
It happens and we move on, and more often than not, we know you will get here as soon as possible. That's why I have the little button that is at the top and it says May block. So I turn those off, and that's how we're doing the title cards. I actually record a video ahead of time of me just going through all the cards. I throw that at Justin, and we go over the finished notes, making sure they're in the right order. Because I don't believe we've had one out of order yet, but that could happen, in which case we would just move on. And last night I believe I was still doing that around midnight because we were getting more information. I don't sleep well, so I fall asleep around 5 a.m. Waking up, alarm set for 11. Grab, something to eat, something to drink. I open OBS up early to make sure the audio settings work, because my headset works very strangely. It actually kills the audio for AR and May anytime I plug it in. So I plug it in ahead of time and I reset the way the audio works. The audio levels are set the same as last time, which is why more often than not we don't have to deal with stuff. And something just fell for someone. And when the show starts, we're generally already there. You guys just can't hear anything because I'm using a different setup, so it's streaming Bolero with the little standby screen. That way, if we have to run and grab a drink, if we have to make sure stuff's working properly, that can all be done. We're already talking, making sure everything works. When we're sure everything works, we then basically I click over, it's live, we check the levels and everything, and then show. Um, that is how we did the Nimoy interview. Also, you guys just couldn't see the live stream. It actually was there, even though the live stream was glitchy that time also. Um, and for the YouTube version, we generally just leave up the full live stream because people like to watch it. That not a number of people like tell me not to edit it down because they like imagining that it's live again. So I just leave it that way. I don't clip anything out. So like I know sometimes you guys message me early. What do you guys do for the podcast? Like AR, I know sometimes you have your own notes.
Yeah, well, the first thing I do is when you give me a possible date, I ask my wife if she can get Lucas out of the house for a couple hours. So everything's contingent on that. If that's a no, then the whole thing falls apart.
Yeah.
Lucas really drives the schedule here.
Lucas is the boss.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I take those notes. I jot my own the night before usually.
Yeah. Anything you do, May?
I wake up. No, I check my flatmate because my computer's like basically in like the center of the apartment. So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be loud at like 7 in the morning if I wake up. And if there's like a question that involves like any actual pre-thinking, like for the last time about our predictions for Try, I will sort of think of what my answer would be. But most of the time I don't put any like a lot of effort into it. I add it to my calendar just so my flatmate's aware, but that's about it.
Yeah, and then we record the show, and when it's over, I immediately get to putting it together for the audio version, the notes, posting it on the various places it gets posted. So in theory, let's just say we're done by 3 today. It will be up everywhere by 5 or 6. Because one, I just think it's nice to get it to everyone quickly. 2, it means if news shows up late at night, which because of the time difference, that's when it tends to show up, it means we can't get screwed up because of that. And 3, and I kind of explained this last time, it lets me just go, good, I can get chuck all the note file, I keep the title card images in case we ever need stuff in the future, but I can go, I don't need to worry about keeping this straight anymore. And sometimes, based on when news shows up, if it's the same night, it means I may open another notepad file and start doing notes again. So that is basically it from beginning to end. It gets edited. I will throw the file over to Justin as I'm uploading it and writing the notes to make sure it's fine, because I'll be the first person to admit I'm not a good audio editor. I don't like doing it. I'm not good at it. We're at a place where stuff generally works. The audio levels are a bit off in the recording, which I'm working on a solution for that. We'll see. But in general, people seem to like the quality of the final record, which sounds completely different from the YouTube version, oddly enough. And even if I download the YouTube version, extract the audio, it no longer sounds like the YouTube version anymore that people hear on YouTube. So, I work on that, and I think the audio quality is at a place where it's not going to get better without better mics, but in general, I think everything sounds good. The levels are a bit off. I either tend to be much higher than them or much lower, which is odd because on YouTube it seems to sound roughly perfectly. I'm relatively happy with where the quality is. I'm still working on improving it, and I think everything works relatively well. I mean, we don't tend to have streaming problems. We haven't lost episodes. I'm relatively happy with that. If the worst thing we can say about the show is the audio levels are a bit off, or I'm a loudmouth who can't stop talking, that's not bad. I mean, we've never lost.
Speaking of which, at the risk of wasting a good segue, we have a lot of questions to get to, and I can't stay for too much longer.
That's fine. Okay. AR, I believe you've been collecting questions.
Yeah. Did you want to go back to that one DNet Savior posted earlier about about the next legendary arms being female?
Yeah. The interview's being translated. I believe it was just him musing on potential future legendary arms, not him saying what they were going to be. It's one of those things where Shin has the interview. She's going over it. I hope we'll have a translation up tonight or tomorrow. I believe it was him just theorizing what future ones might be, not him actually saying, we're going to do an axe, we're going to do a female one, we're going to do a spear. He was going over ideas he has in his head for what they may be. And he's gone over in the past that sometimes he'll come up with an idea and they're like, can you tone it down a few notches, please? And he seems to get excited when he doesn't have to. It's one of those things where we'll figure out it sooner rather than later. But I believe it's all theorizing.
Okay. Do you think that the forthcoming Digimon story game will come out this year?
No.
I don't think so either.
I would have said like if it's going to come out this year, it'll be like December,
Yeah,
like around the same time when the last episode was released.
If it comes out this year, it'll be the tail end of the year. I don't think we're going to get a release during that period because Hacker's Memory, it didn't tank, but it didn't do well.
Like, I definitely don't think we're going to get an English release of it this year.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Definitely.
Hacker's Memory.
I could see.
Sorry, go ahead.
I could see 2019 though.
Yeah, I think they'll tweet. I think they'll go for release earlier or middle of the year because Hacker's Memory had a good first week if it had had a tail. In the sense that if sales continued doing decently, it looked like it had a decent first week, and then it went. And
shame because it's a good game.
Yeah, the problem is I'm not sure it was marketed well for what it was. I think they kind of spent too much time marketing it as a weird interquel type side story when they should have just said, "Hey, it's more Cyber Sleuth." Instead, it's what I would call the Wii U conundrum.
Yeah.
Where when they announced the Wii U and showed it off, they didn't really explain very well what it was. Yeah.
Moving on quickly, what do you think is the best Digimon mobile game? Can I say Rear Eyes?
Yeah, I mean...
Can I just be optimistic?
I mean, the mobile games generically aren't that... Like, even the one that I played the most, Heroes, it wasn't a good game. It was...
I mean, they're free to play. Like, I don't expect them to be, like, fantastic, amazing AAA.
I've played a lot of Heroes. I don't know if I'd call it a good game.
The best Digimon mobile game is putting a Digimon sticker on the back.
Count those Chinese bootleg games.
Put a Digimon sticker on the back. Cleaning one. Put a Digimon sticker on the back of your phone and play a miniature golf game. Digimon Golf.
Yeah, no, my vote's for the ear cleaning games.
No.
Isn't any virtual pet you play on your phone a Digimon mobile game?
Maybe.
Da-dum-tsh.
Actually, my favorite. I take that back. My favorite one is my Google search.
Good old.
Do you still have the Athlon icons on your phone?
Yes, I
There you go.
certainly
Everything
do.
you use on your phone is a Digimon game.
Yeah.
Good old Gatchmon.
Will we ever get a Frontier Blu-ray?
I'm gonna go ahead and say yes.
That is, let's see how Tamers does.
Well,
I would say yes.
This is.
I don't think it'll be a bigger thing though, like the Tamers one.
Tamers has come up in discussion. If Tamers does not do well, I would be shocked if it doesn't do better than O2 for one reason is they've been pushing the hell out of Tamers. Like
they really have.
Yeah. Like O2 they basically went, we did the box last year, here's another one. It's going to be good again. Enjoy. Tamers, everyone involved has gone psychotic on it. And it's one of those things, if it doesn't outdo the O2 box, I would be shocked. But there's so much coming out, we may not even get numbers for it. Because we only really get numbers for like the top 10 until later on. And there's a lot of stuff coming out like right around now-ish that could easily bump everything else past it.
Okay. What date do you think Digimon Rearise will be released? I think we kind of covered this already. Yeah, it's probably pretty soon.
Yeah, somewhere between now and a week before Tripart 5 comes out, I would say. I mean, we're getting the CD at the end of April. I don't see why that would be happening if it wasn't like now.
Yeah. Will we do a review of the Digimon Tamers audio CD?
I will be at least doing a write-up about it.
Well, we'll definitely be talking about it. It's hard to do a review when, theoretically speaking, we won't really be able to review it as an audio drama. It will effectively be we listen to it and then we'll look over whatever translation Onke does. It's not like, say, the stage play where we will have the nice, we will have the visuals, there will be subtitles. This will be, we will have listened to it and we will have a translation on our screen.
At the same time, that's what we all do with the audio dramas we listen to that previously existed, so it's not that different, and we certainly make judgments about those. I don't do formal system restore posts for audio dramas, but yeah, we'll certainly talk about it on here. I might do a write-up on my Tumblr or something, and if we get audio and a translation in time, I might do like an April Fool's thing like I did with that Agumon Charmander Death Battle episode.
It will not be in time for that because the set's not even out until like April 3rd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there will not.
Geez, that's right. April's coming up fast.
Yeah.
I forgot what day what month it is already.
Okay, what's next?
What do you think will be the condition of evolution for Omegamon Merciful Mode?
Power of friendship.
Yeah, it feels it feels like power, friendship, and love and courage and blah blah. I think the question is more asking what most people have been musing on is this just the two of them getting an upgrade, or is this something more?
Yeah, I think for me, I would like to see some sort of, like, if it's really a merciful mode, like some sort of conclusive willingness, like they have this big speech, like, we're going to do this with no casualties this time. Which would be kind of fun because Adventure had so many casualties, but this is the time they put their foot in the ground, like, we're going to do this with no one dying.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing they come on board, and that's the thing they agreed to it, and that's the thing that powers them up somehow.
And then we get the music again.
Sure. Let's see. What are you most excited for to find out in spoilers? I don't pursue spoilers. I will avoid them like the plague. I encourage everyone else to. However, having said that,
well, I think I don't think he means like spoiled ahead of time. I think he means the kind of stuff that we know has to show up, but like, what are we most excited to find out that would be spoilers if it were leaked ahead of time? Is how I read it.
02 kids, I guess.
Yeah, 02 kids.
See, I'm not sure fate of the 02 kids for me, because joking aside, I don't expect their fate to matter. They're going to show up and it's going to be fine. Joking aside, I don't think they're dead. That's a joke. People seem to think that's serious, but yeah, I don't like. But yes, are we going to get anything worth it?
I personally think you can absolutely write a scenario successfully where they did die in that.
I just don't see it in the context of what we have, though. Is what I mean.
But I think I think just knowing that they're in the movie is all I want to know.
Yes.
Like, that's the one spoiler where it's like, okay, I'll take that one.
Yes.
But I don't need any more details.
Yeah, see, we will get spoilers of that for one reason. Because the instant the spoilers show up, like, we keep them relatively insulated well on the site. I guarantee you on Reddit, on Twitter, on X, Y, and Z, it will be impossible to block them if you look at social media. It's just...
especially if they're voiced.
I don't even mean... Oh, yeah. I mean in the sense of once those spoilers are out there, we will get them. You will have to use full-on kung fu to block everything.
Let's see. And is it possible that Mako would have a crest of mercy instead of a crest of darkness? It's possible she doesn't have a crest at all. And I think that's still the most likely scenario.
Yeah, in all the marketing and everything, the general suggestion is she doesn't have a crest, and people are like, her Digivice is shining. Her Digivice was shining in part 2, was it 4?
I think so.
And it was shining the exact color that it's shining. It's just that it highlights in black first.
Yeah, but that's been her color all this time.
Yes, in all the marketing stuff, her color is like maroon red. That is what it is. This isn't. It's not new. Any other questions?
I think that's all the ones that I would get to right now.
Well, let me make sure. Someone said we missed one. Let me just look here. If we did miss it, I don't see it.
Yeah. In the meantime, I'm gonna do a quick plug for the creative people out there, there is currently, I'm going to be part of this project again, is that there is going to be a Digimon. It's called the Big Bang Project. Was really cool last time with combining fanfic and fan artists that I'd like to give a plug for because I think I'm going to help moderate this.
Go ahead.
So yeah, if anyone's interested in this, it's digimonallstar.tumblr.com, where what we do is you write a fairly like a 15,000 word fanfic, and you're paired with a fan artist who will be doing art for you, so you get some really great combos. We did this a couple years ago, and it's a very fun creative process to go through and get some really great product out there. So just wanted to throw that out.
See, in my head, I'm trying to figure out how I can reply with the Smash Mouth lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
Because you said All Star.
Well, they called it All Stars because the last.
No, I know why it's called. I get it. I'm just trying to think. Can I creatively respond?
Well, it was called that because it's called that because last time it was kind of an adventure only, and this is more of a broad all season type of thing. So like every season can. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll have to find some sort of a cool non-adventure project to write up, even though I'm already writing up my mass crossover fic again.
Hey now, that works.
Okay, I'm done.
Mark, did we want to talk about the Reddit mod elections that just came up on the subreddit for Digimon?
Did they finally put it up today?
Yeah, an hour ago. So people can vote now.
Yes. The old moderators finally popped back up and realized, maybe they shouldn't be doing it because they weren't really doing it. So they're doing mod elections, and me and Airdramon are both up for it.
Yep.
Few other good choices are Victor's up for it. Sid's up for it. I like arguing with Sid. Sid argues very well. Sometimes a bit mean, but he'd be a good mod too. Yoshi Man, I think he's sitting here watching us right now.
Yeah, and I know that he often, I'm pretty sure, posts in in both of the podcasts posts on the subreddit.
Yeah,
he's active on the Discord too.
Generically, there's only most of them I understand. 3 of them I'm not sure I like, because 2 of them are 2 of the mods who were there before, and if they were there before, there wouldn't be a problem. And one person, I don't remember who it was like, yeah, I've never posted here, I'm a lurker, but I'd like to.
Yeah, no, that's one I'm not super.
Yeah.
Like, cause
like
I feel like it should be people who are active.
Yeah. Like most of them I get. I think most of them are probably good choices. I do worry about 1 or 2 of them just going, oh, this will be fun, and it's like, oh, that's not going to work well. But yeah, I think there's some good choices there. I recommend everyone vote for May, vote for me. I think Sid and Victor are good choices, like I said. AR's not there.
No, I'm not on Reddit.
So what you're saying is you're the smart one.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Well, I say that, but I'm also on Tumblr, so I guess that negates that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pinned on Reddit. You guys can go there and vote. I believe they're doing it order based.
Yeah, it's like a ballot. You can just select. I just voted on my phone, but you can like click on like which ones and add them in order.
See, that's one of those that can be confusing, because then that means you either have to check everyone, or you only put up the 2 or 3 that you want, and then you just throw everyone else in randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes up. I will say it's hilarious how quickly everything came together.
Yeah, like I was expecting, that this is just going to be something that's discussed on and nothing will happen.
Yeah.
But no, I guess some of the moderators came back to life and were like, okay, let's do this.
My favorite comment, and you'll know the one I'm talking about, May. Someone's like, I don't want Mark to be a mod because I don't like the way moderation's done on With the Will. I don't like With the Will. No, and their suggestion was I want Airdramon to be a mod, and I'm sitting there going, do you not realize like she's staff at With the Will?
Yeah, like I'm just sitting there going, twiddling my fingers, going, about that actually.
Yeah. That was the one that just made me laugh, because it was literally like a little rant about me and With the Will. They don't like any of the moderators at With the Will. They want it to be May. And it's like,
yeah, I found that weird.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for watching. You can find, you know, I technically have my own Twitter, although normally I'm doing it from With the Will. AR, where can they find you?
Sorry, I had to unmute that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on First Agent ARP at Twitter, and Digimon.firstagent.net is the System Restore site.
Yeah. And once stuff is, I don't know if the All-Star thing is up already, or if it will be next time. We'll make sure we get a link to that once that's going.
Yeah, it's Digimon. It's up right now. It's DigimonAllStar.tumblr.com.
See, this is secret code for me telling AR when the show's over to message me with everything.
I'm gonna subvert that and message you right now and put it in the Skype chat so you can't say I didn't.
May, where's Stripe?
Eh?
Did you say Stripe chat? Oh, Skype.
Skype.
Okay, I thought you said Stripe, and I'm like, the hell? May.
It probably works. Whatever that is, it probably works better than Skype.
May, where can they track you down?
I'm on Lost in Translation on basically every bit of social media. I'm also Ancient Irismon on Twitter, but I mainly, as Marc says previous times, I like a lot of the time I'm just on the @Translation on Twitter. I just retweet a bunch of stuff usually, and I come to talk about other things on my main account. But so I guess @Translation on Twitter, I'm Lost in Translation on Tumblr, and basically every social media thing is just Lost in Translation on. I also have social media on other things, but like I'm gathering that if you're listening to this, you probably just would like to hear about the Digimon stuff, which is just Lost in Translation on.
Yeah, so like and follow us on YouTube, Twitter, all of us. Donate to With the Will. We have the Patreon, which actually helps a lot. It's actually worked out decently well so far. Join the Discord where you can see me and AR arguing at odd hours. Arguing is probably the wrong term, more debating, because we don't actually get mad and argue. We're just going back and forth, which is
on the same. Lately, we've been on the same page with a disturbing amount of stuff.
That's odd. Like, people come here. It's kind of weird because they feel like we're arguing and we are disagreeing, but we're not like fighting. Because we both understand that we just like debating this stuff. I feel like that's where arguments start, is one person's debating and the other person's just upset about it.
We also both really like try, and that subverts half of the arguments.
Yeah. But it does mean that everyone argues with us.
Yes. That's fun.
Yes.
Bring it on.
Yeah. I am not 100% sure when the next episode will be. I feel like we'll probably stick in maybe 2 more episodes before Try Part 6, just because I'm sure we'll have to do a catch-up episode in there at some point.
That might be hard, but we can give it a try.
Well, the thing is if we do a catch-up episode, it could always be the type of thing where we go, maybe we just do it in an afternoon and we just do a quick catch-up where, we're recording in the afternoon live. We grab one or two.
Let's see what the news.
Yeah, we'll see what's coming up, basically, because I do feel like we want to clear the board a week before Try is out.
Probably, because I'll tell you what, my May is really rough.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, and
I've got the 5th will be the day after Try Part 6 is fine, but
yeah, I'm pretty rough.
Yeah, we'll figure.
Yes, I see what you did there.
Rough.
No, rough as in.
I said
May will be rough.
I said May is pretty rough.
I missed that.
That's her name, and that's also the name of a month.
I missed that completely. I thought she was making the dog joke based on us talking about her dog earlier.
No.
Yeah, I missed that completely. But
I understand you.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Normally I would. I'm partially thinking about the editing of the show. So
yeah, fair.
So I guess as we finish off, what kind of stuff do you think we're gonna see news-wise before Try Part 5 comes out? Because we already know about the cafe, merchandise.
Yeah, merchandise, weird flavoring drinks.
It's where the money is. Merchandising. That's why they're gonna make
Spaceballs. We're really on with our old comedy movies.
Spaceballs 2: The Search for More Money. That's also why we all.
Look, I dropped a Mallrats reference. You can go Spaceballs. It's fine.
Didn't I drop the Mallrats reference?
I brought the sailboat into it.
I thought I see. We're getting our horrible old references are so mixed up. I don't even know who's making them anymore.
This is what we argue about.
Yes. So thank you, everyone. Yeah. Do we have anything else to say this time?
I hope not.
I'm pretty good.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for showing up.
Is good.
We will we will give everyone.
Digimon plush is good.
Yes. I'm trying to look at what I have. I have the little Koenma plush that a With the Will fan sent me.
Well, the Lost in Translation Mon was talking about wondering if there was a such thing as a cute Mon plush, so I rubbed it in the old one.
Yeah, I remember.
More importantly, I want a Chibi Kamemon plush. He's my new best friend. I love him. He's so cute and fat, and I love him so much.
Didn't they change the dub name? Like
yeah, Chibi Tortamon.
Yeah, even though they called him Kamemon in Data Squad.
Mm-hmm.
That
that right there reveals a lot about what was going on with the Fusion dub. Mm-hmm. When in doubt, change it.
Yeah. I think that's.
By the way,
sorry,
Mark. Just because it's up, I'm not sure if you still have a list of where to watch running things at the moment for Digimon. But Digimon Fusion was apparently removed from Australian Netflix.
Well, yeah, I remember you last night. I believe you were starting to freak out about that.
No, I was talking about the I think there was an episode that in my list I have listed as 2 episodes, but I'm covering them on alternate fortnight episodes. So I'm like, but no, that's I already have the DVDs for Fusion. But yeah, season 2 we don't have still.
Yeah, I'm working on a cleaned up list that's going to be in far too much detail and far too annoying for most people.
But all of Crosswalls is on Crunchyroll.
Lost in Translation Mon should have done just take it by zone for the first half, because that's usually 3 episodes.
Yeah, we kind of missed the boat on that.
Was it the Digiboat?
No, it was the Swan boat. It was a nice boat.
They didn't see the sailboat.
I think that's about it for us. Thanks everyone for showing up. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.